You've heard it before, go green, go broke. Overregulation of energy that works and over-reliance on renewables that don't is causing electricity prices to surge in the deep blue Northeast. Take a look at New Jersey, the state hitting households with a 20% utility rate hike this summer. And Maryland has dealt with massive price hikes as well. The state has struggled with energy shortages as it continues to shut down fossil fuel generators. Lawmakers running the show are defiantly going green and costing residents green in the process. Many New Jersey residents here with me at this table. Steve Forbes, maybe foremost among them. What do you think about this?
I'm shocked. And I think it's more than the 15 to 20% when you open up that envelope and see what's happened, especially what you compare it to last year. And it's all self-inflicted. And why these people, with all the evidence there of what so-called renewables do to the grid, what it does to cost, what it's done to Europe, what it's done to Germany, what's done to other parts of the country, why they continue to do that, I think this is one reason why the Republicans can win in New Jersey this November. People don't like higher prices when they're not even necessary. This is not a storm, not shutdowns from COVID. This was self-inflicted.
Dagan.
It was, I call Phil Murphy, the governor, I would call him a has-been, but he's a never was. I came up with that line yesterday.
Very good.
Bottom line.
It was good then, it was good now.
It doesn't take very long to really screw up a state. And Phil Murphy is a testament to that. It's only been, 8 years. In 2017, he shut down all the state's coal plants, cut natural gas generation capacity. The state was thriving because its proximity to the Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania,
right,
and then increased reliance on wind and solar. Wind, offshore windmills, not one project has been completed year to date. But natural gas, turned his back on natural gas just simply because it's a fossil fuel, even though it is a clean burning fuel that has helped the nation drive down our per capita emissions to the lowest level in, since the end of World War II. I want to know, President Trump has it right. Just recently, it was Monday or last week, canceled federal permit for Lava Ridge wind project out in Idaho. And Robert Bryce, a famous writer about energy, says that he should now kill the Phil Onschut's gigantic wind project that is on Bureau of Land Management land in Wyoming. So, yes, he should.
It's interesting, Jackie, because you hear some people say, let's do an all-of-the-above approach. That's kind of a slogan, like, let's have all of these things. But what Dagan just said kind of makes me think maybe part of it, though, is actually not all of the above, when some of the above are things that are sucking resources out of the state and actually driving prices higher. Maybe you've got to reprioritize, and that means some of the green's got to go.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the biggest problems here in New York and New York City as well. To tie this back to what we were talking about in the last block, when Mamdani, sort of grasps at that affordability crisis, this is an example. This is an example where Democrats can control the process, and yet they choose to do nothing about it. State climate initiatives are a huge problem. We're still invested in renewables to a degree that we absolutely shouldn't be. And demand has gone up. This brings me to another affordability issue that he's trying to tackle as well, which is housing. When you have migrants here that did not come and bring the houses with them, they need housing. And so then that's when your housing prices skyrocket. So when you put all of these things in a basket, that is why it's difficult to live here. But they don't do any, self-reflection as to what policies caused part of the problems. They want things to stay the same. They want to be able to make it worse for people. And yet at the same time, they're trying to sell them a bill of goods that we're going to make it better for you, when the reality is they're not. But to, bring it all back to electricity and what people are paying here, it's a huge issue. I have friends who told me this summer, which was particularly hot, especially at certain periods in July, that their electricity bills for air conditioning were just skyrocketed through the roof. I have friends who said for sure they knew that there were situations where they were limiting their energy use because they couldn't get their units to turn up as much as they wanted them to. And so, when you want to give everything away to everybody, then other people have to suffer the ones who are
And
paying.
By the way, don't make ladies of a certain age get hot, because when they have a flash, they get mad too. I'm just telling.
I got no comment on that one,
Yeah,
Lydia.
I'm not going there.
But some people,
ladies, no.
people do say you could be making those folks a heck of a lot more mad in the days ahead, because we're just at the beginning of this. Like we're kind of running out of spare capacity. When we get there, then you're digging into what people really need. Where do you think this goes?
Yeah, well, in the state of New Jersey, as Steve mentioned, there is a governor's election, a governor's race happening right now because it's off year. And I think it's so interesting what's happening, because what has been kind of a boring race to follow, the polls had shown that the Democrat candidate pretty far out in the lead, 22-point lead back in June. But I checked again, polling in July, that lead is narrowing. Now the Republican candidate, Jack Ciattarelli, he's behind by only 8 points, according to the average polls. That race is starting to get really interesting and really tight. Jack Ciattarelli really surprised a lot of folks that were following the last election. He almost got the governorship from Phil Murphy. And I think this is one of the issues that could really help him clinch it this time around. So I think they shouldn't ignore.
Ladies, you hot out in Jersey, it's because of the Democrats.
He should go to everybody's living room, set up a camera, and talk about energy from now until the election.
We talked about Barack Obama earlier. You want to talk about socialist? He's the one who paved the way for all of this idiocy and moronacy. Harold Hamm of Continental Resources, fame, hydraulic fracturing, horizontal drilling, went in to talk to President Obama about this just revolution in natural gas and horizontal drilling. And he went, yeah. We're going to have batteries and electric cars across the country in 5 years. That's what my guys in energy tell me.
And when you look at the last 20, 25 years, a total of almost $8 trillion have been spent on renewables. Just imagine a portion of that money had gone for something sensible.
To reinvest in the grid. That's part of the problem, too. These decaying pieces of infrastructure end up costing a lot of money, too. We need to update our infrastructure in the grid, and not only for national security purposes, but also for functionality. The wasted money is just beyond.
Well, I guess if you feel bad, you can go hug an EV charger, and maybe that'll make you feel better.